Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of me reading a book, and its name is The Cool Story Behind Snow, Part 2. So let's get started with our story. Chapter 3 Recipe for a Snowstorm. We all want a snow day. So how do we make a snowstorm? The first ingredient in this recipe must be cold air. In order to have a snowstorm, the air must be at or below freezing, from the cloud tops down to the ground. During the winter, cold air from Canada is pushed south into the United States by strong winds in the upper part of the atmosphere, known as the jet stream. The next ingredient is a flow of warm, moist air to create clouds and precipitation. That moisture usually comes from the Gulf of Mexico. You've learned rain and snowflakes form from colliding water drops and ice crystals. Well, a snowstorm occurs from colliding warm and cold air because warm, moist air is lighter than cold, dry air. The warm air rises above the cold air, forming a boundary zone called a front. If you've ever watched the weather forecast on TV, you've probably seen the weather map showing different kinds of fronts. The leading edge of a push of cold, dry air is called a cold front, while the leading edge of a push of warm, moist air is a warm front. Look, this is the warm front, this is the cold front, and this is the stationary front. When the cold, dry air and the warm, moist air reach a standoff and don't move very much, the boundary zone between them is called a stationary front. See here? Winter storms will usually form along a stationary front when the front bends or wavers. The air will begin to move in a counterclockwise direction, forming a storm system. Just how strong a storm will get depends on how much moisture and energy is available. In some cases, the storm may become very strong, producing strong winds and heavy snow. Blizzards. You've probably heard people say, "It's a blizzard out there!" During a snowstorm, not all Not all during a snowstorm. Not all snowstorms are blizzards,
though.
though. When the winds are blowing constantly at speeds of 35 miles per hour or more, and snow is falling heavily, then we call that a blizzard. Blizzards are dangerous because the combination of falling and blowing snow can make it hard to see. When you can see for only a short distance ahead of you, it's called whiteout conditions. The best place to be during a blizzard is indoors. You should never try to travel or go outside when a blizzard is raging. It's like having some hot chocolate or uh, hot cup of tea or coffee so it can be warmed up. Chapter 4: Hail, Sleet, and Freezing Rain. Frozen precipitation can come in more forms than just snow. During the spring and summer months, hail can fall. Hail starts out as a frozen raindrop, which gets tossed up and down inside a cloud by strong winds during a thunderstorm. Collisions with other raindrops, followed by freezing and refreezing, causes layers of ice to form. When it finally gets too heavy, it falls to the ground as hail. Hail most often is the size of a pea or marble, but some hailstones can grow to be much larger, as large as a golf ball or even a softball. Look, this is a pea size. This is how it looks when it's a golf ball size. Look, the pea size is the smallest. Golf ball size is the medium one here, and the softball size is the biggest. If you cut a hailstone in half, you'll see rings of clear and cloudy ice, indicating the number of times it got tossed up and down in a thunderstorm cloud. Oh, look what it says. Kind of like a frozen yo-yo. Sometimes during the winter, a layer of warm air develops in the upper part of the atmosphere and precipitation falls as rain. Closer to the ground, however, the temperature is at or below freezing. The raindrops freeze just before hitting the ground, falling as ice pellets called sleet, which can bounce upon hitting the ground. Sleet makes driving dangerous, so if you must travel when it's icy, remember to always fasten your sleeve or seat belt. If you see these ice pellets fall. Ice storms are caused by freezing rain. Freezing rain is different from sleet in that it falls like ordinary rain until it hits any solid object that is at or below freezing. The rain then freezes on contact with the object, which soon becomes covered by a thin layer of ice, which is called a glaze. Because streets and roadways are usually dark in color, and because the icy glaze is clear and difficult to see, it's sometimes called black ice. People driving cars may not see this ice and skid on the road. This is why ice on streets and roads is extremely dangerous to drivers. When freezing rain falls for a long time, thick layers of ice can pile up on trees and power lines and cause lots of damage. Ice storms can be beautiful, but also very destructive. Here's a riddle. How does a snowman get to work? Guess in 10 seconds. Good job. You got? That's the answer. Bicycle. Okay. Sometimes it's not a storm that can bring heavy snow, but the wind. When very cold air blows over large bodies of relatively mild water like the Great Lakes, it can pick up lots of water vapor, which then freezes into snow and quickly piles up near the shores of lakes that face into the wind. This type of wind over water snow, that is also known as lake effect snow, can produce blizzard conditions and drop a huge amount of snow in a very short time. Sometimes thunder and lightning will occur during a snowstorm. Thunder snow! This can happen when the atmosphere becomes very turbulent, rough, stormy, and unstable, and the air is rapidly forced upward through the clouds. The effect is similar to a thunderstorm in the summertime, except instead of a downpour, you can get a burst of very heavy snowfall that can drop several inches of snow or more in a single hour. In the United States, large amounts of snow can be found in several different places. Lots of snow falls in parts of the Northeast and around the Great Lakes, as well as out west in the Rocky Mountains. The least amount of snow falls in Florida and along the Gulf coasts of Texas, and Louisiana. In these parts of the country, it's too warm to snow for most of the year. As a result, snowfall for these places averages only 1/10 of 1 inch each winter, and very often there are winters where no snow falls at all. but snow has fallen in all 50 states. It can even snow in Hawaii, though this can happen only in places that are very high up. It might be 80 degrees Fahrenheit on a beach in Honolulu, while at the same time, the tops of Hawaii's highest volcanoes are getting dusted with snow. Okay, good guys. Congratulations! You've come to the end of this book. You are now an official Science of Fun Stuff expert on snow. So the next time you're home enjoying a snow day, remember the science behind the fun. Okay, now we're gonna do a pop quiz to see how much you learned. Okay, so in the end of here, oh, don't look at the answers, please. Okay, here's the first question. Any water that falls from the sky is called A. Sleet, B. Precipitation, or C. Rain. My answer is B. Okay, let's see if that's correct. Yes, it is B. Okay, now, here is the second. Raindrops are formed by colliding water droplets. B. Colliding ice crystals. C. Frozen water. My answer is A. Let's see if that's correct. Yes. Okay. Now, option number question number 3. A snowflake always has rounded eggs. Rounded eggs?
Edges.
Edges, I mean. B. A triangular center. Or C. 6 sides. My answer is C. Let's see if that's correct. Yes. Okay. Next one is cold and warm air is colliding is a good start for a possible A. Rainy day, B. Snowstorm, or C. Rainbow. And my answer is snowstorm. Let's see if that's correct. Yes, it is correct. Now, 5. When the temperature lingers around the freezing mark, any snow that falls will probably be heavy and slushy. B. Light and fluffy. C. Perfect for building a snowman. My answer is A. Let's see if that's correct. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Strong winds in the upper part of the atmosphere are known as A. Gusts, B. Fronts, or C. The jet stream. My answer is the jet stream. Let's see if that's correct. Yeah. Now, let's see the 7th. If you cut a hailstone in half, the rings inside will tell you A. The temperature, B. How many inches, or C. How many times it was tossed in a thundercloud. My answer is C. Let's see if that's correct. Yes. Now, here's the last question. Water vapor and dust particles creates ice crystals, which when temperatures drop, turn into A. Snowflakes, B. Black ice, or C. Sleet. My answer is A. Good job, guys! Did you get it right? It's okay. You can watch this video again to see if you are correct again. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, click to subscribe and don't forget to click the little bell